Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Friday, another day of Rocket League, another stream for CMS and the Varsity Esports and STEM League. I'm your boy, Michael Tumbleweed. I've been here, I think, every single day. Join with me. This guy's a bargain. He's a steal, but we call him discounts. Chris, how you doing today, man?
Oh, man, great. It's Friday, obviously. I mean, this is the most important week, what we've been waiting on. This is the fourth week of, the 4-week period of, now it's playoffs.
Yes.
People are getting through playoffs and now, finals. I'm excited to see what we have in store today.
Absolutely, and I mean, what a great day of action that we have ahead of us. We are kind of jumping in, ladies and gentlemen, to the middle of the bracket today, so we'll be jumping into the semifinals. Okay, I'm getting word from production. We're not ready to show that bracket yet, but we are going to be jumping into the semifinals. I'm just trying to get confirmation on what game we have up. We're going to be jumping into JT Williams versus Providence.
Ooh,
right? So
good
that's
one.
two
Good one off the start.
schools, right, for us to play there. Game one, reminder, folks, what's at stake here, right? CMS, kind of the Premier League, right? So you get a little bit of special privilege in some ways, right? The top 4 teams are going to qualify to compete at the LAN event. Other leagues like Foothills, Sandhills, Wake, stuff like that, it's only the top 2 teams. So here, every team that we watch today, you will get to see in the future at a LAN event. So even if they lose their series, they are not completely out, but you always want those bragging
Hey, but the
rights.
pressure's still on.
Yeah.
Pressure's still on, right? You still want to perform, every Friday, and especially, these teams worked hard to get where they're at. I mean, there's a reason why they're in the top 4. So excited to see these guys go at it. They're trying to fill each other out. See these teams go head-to-head. They know they're going to have to face each other again here in the future.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm hearing that we're ready to jump into game one.
Let's
so
go.
Why waste any time, right? We can talk about it, but we can be about it. We can just show off here. JT Williams versus Providence, game one. We're off to a start. We'll do a little player intro here. So over here on JT Williams, we got Am4425. We got Grassy, and we got Nutella Smiley Face. And then on that Providence Panthers side, we just get an early score from JT Williams. I don't know why they have the asterisk against the suit because of the name. Maybe it's too long or something for the overlay.
Sure.
But Providence Panthers on this side, we got Failed Sins, we got Gecko, and we got Tampa Nana 11. All great players in this game.
Absolutely, and we saw Providence, last week play well. But we know the teams to beat, right? JT Williams and also Audrey Kell on the other side of the bracket. Those two teams are our kind of superstars here, or superstar teams in the CMS league. And, they never really disappoint. But that also means the pressure is on for those teams. But right now, Nutella says no. There's not pressure at all here in this game one of the best of 5 against Providence.
Not at all. JT Williams looking to make a statement. We have seen kind of some storylines play out that you educated me on in previous games, or just in these high schools, right? So in Valorant earlier in the week, we saw JT Williams actually get upset and knocked out early. So Audrey Kell did win for CMS over there on Valorant. And then in Super Smash Brothers, JT Williams and Audrey Kell were nowhere to be seen. I'm pretty sure, I'm going off memory here. I'd have to go back and check the VOD, to be honest with you, because it's been a long couple days. But I'm pretty sure it was, I think it was Palisade Pumas took that.
Okay.
I keep getting the Providence Panthers Palisade Pumas.
Well, if you're JT Williams, Audrey Kell already being just in those 2 titles alone, Rocket League and Valorant, that's already hats off to them. They can't do it all now, Michael. Smash Bros, they can't have them all 3, right?
Well, listen, when I'm hearing how good Audrey Kell is in all these games and esports and how highly their accolades are bestowed upon the community, I want to see you in every game.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially how well, the support system in that school is great, too, in both schools, JT Williams and Audrey Kell. Right now, I'm sure they are making some noise right now at home. Up 2-0 against Providence, another great team, but JT Williams is showing why, we're kind of still talking about them.
Yeah, absolutely. Providence Panthers, though, we've seen Tam, Banana, and Gecko with some great gameplay. Gecko and with Failed Sin just trying to keep this ball out of the goal, but doesn't matter. Grassy's just going to get that in there as JT Williams looking to make a statement in this first game.
Yeah, and that one you just saw Gecko kind of hit it right back, and JT Williams is just pushing all the way on offense. They're putting the pressure on, and it's showing because Providence right now, I don't think they know what to do.
I don't think they do either. I think they're just trying to get their wits about them, get some momentum set. It only takes one goal, really, Chris. We talk about it often, right? You need that one goal, that baby step to move forward.
Oh!
What a defense, and it doesn't matter.
Man.
Grassy. This guy is slick, man.
It looks, you want to give them credit with the save, but it was just too many people, too many cooks in the kitchen. Everyone's bumping into each other, and then they find themselves, down another goal. So down 4-0 Providence, hey, this might not be your game, but remember, this is a best of 5. You don't have to just win one game to take it. So still got plenty of time. Obviously, need to make some adjustments. I really think JT Williams right now is doing a great job at kind of keeping that pace up, keeping the foot on the gas. But right now, Providence is trying to answer back here. It's just really tough for them. Grassy, the mechanics, he's just going well on the ground. He's got all these moves, and then he's got his squad right there. Look at this, just nonstop back and forth action between the teams. So love to see it.
Yeah, and I'm looking down there in the UI. I see Grassy's got 5 shots on his name, 2 goals. Tam Banana hasn't quite found his presence in this game yet. We are used to seeing Tam Banana be a little more score-oriented, but JT Williams has just looked so strong in all the games that we've got to watch them in throughout these 4 weeks. And you got to think that JT Williams, they really want this win for a couple reasons, right? They want this reason because, 1, you want to win. But then 2, because you're wanting to make a statement and put the pressure on Audrey Kell to show up, who I believe you told me, right? These are kind of school rivals.
Yeah. Anytime you see this. Before going on to that, I want to talk about Gecko and Grassy. Both of them have been playing phenomenal in this game. They're just hitting the ball square. Every hit is intentional with these players. If it's not a shot, it's a pass, and they're just knowing how to redirect the ball, great. I mean, just hats off to them right now.
Yeah, really good rotation here, and really, honestly, folks, watching some of these Rocket League games and casting them, it's gave me a little bit more education on the game, right? All the strategy that goes into it. So we're now like, we have other live streams going on, right? So if you go check out something like Plague or Sandios, I got to check out some of those games throughout the week, and you can just tell the difference in caliber, right? You can see the comms are clear, you can see the strategies have been rehearsed, and it's just really beautiful what can happen when everything starts working in cohesion in a Rocket League squad.
The thing I like to look at is just kind of over the last few seasons how some of these players have improved each and every season. Nutella, he's been, and Grassy and Gecko, all these players have been in the league. And you can see how just the mechanics have gotten so much better over the seasons. And you love to see it because that just means they're getting better and better each season. And I'm not sure, if some of these players are seniors, juniors, either way, they're getting ready for the next level, and you love to see it. They're just improving.
Yes, absolutely. Counting down to the end of this game. 4-0, JT Williams taking this game one in really dominating fashion.
Absolutely.
To say the least. So, scoreboard, we had the shots and stuff there, but we know, right? We don't need to see
that
much
one's kind of
looking at 11 shots right on the side of JT Williams, 2 shots if you're Providence Panthers. So we always like to point out that shot difference, but I mean, if you look at the saves, right? Providence, they have 6 saves. They never got a chance to shoot. They were always on the back foot. Just the pressure from JT Williams really taken to a new level there.
Absolutely, and you saw, just all the pressure was on Providence. Their backs were against the wall during the game, and it was just tough to just even watch it really game one. Hopefully Providence can come back out, though, in game 2 and maybe play a little bit faster because that's the only way you're really going to keep up with a team like JT Williams.
Yep, and before we hop into game 2, I did get confirmation that our bracket is ready to show, so we can kind of look and call out those teams that did get to participate early today in the quarterfinals. Reminder, folks at home, we are watching JT Williams Providence in the semifinals, so the score's not there yet, but we know it's 1-0, right? So looking at the history in the quarterfinals there, ignore the Super Smash Brothers icon. Things happen. We got JT Williams over there, so 3-0 against Palisade Pumas, right? They just got their Glory Day Palisades in Super Smash Brothers yesterday. So get out of here. We've already seen you win. Myers Park, they do fall to the Providence Panthers 3-0. Garinger Wildcats versus Olympic 3-1 there. And then Audrey Cale dominating Rocky River Ravens 3-1. And we have Garinger and Audrey Cale waiting next.
Looking at that just right now, Garinger upsetting. I mean, not upsetting because they were the better seed on Olympic, but Olympic now falling kind of early in the playoffs. I wasn't expecting that, so glad to see. Garinger worked so hard to get to that 3 seed, and it shows that it was right.
Yep. And even if everything seems to be playing out numerically here, right, imagine a world where Providence upsets JT Williams. I mean, that would be huge.
That would be really huge.
Or even the inverse, Garinger versus Audrey Cale.
Absolutely.
Man, Audrey Cale, they'd be kicking themselves. And that's just the reflection of the day, folks. So we are in the middle of JT Williams versus Palisade Pumas. Right, Panthers?
Providence Panthers.
Providence Panthers. I keep getting them all mixed up in my head. I'm so sorry, guys. There's too many
There's
cats.
a lot of cats and dogs.
But we're ready to jump into game 2. Sorry, I see the players over there getting their hands cold because of me. Sorry, guys. Got to educate the
Warm it up. We're going to have to start a fire over here, Michael, because they need to get their hands warmed up. But instead of doing that, let's just get into the game and let them get warmed up here on the field. As we see JT Williams and Providence. Game 2 going on right now. And you see, like Gecko, like I said, wanted to highlight him once again for Providence. Playing well. Like, he's the one that's kind of just stopping all these chances to go in. You saw that time. That was a good no-hit because I think if he would have hit it, possible setup for JT Williams. So right now, Providence looking a lot better right out of the gate. I like to see that. But Nutella on the other side, he says, I got something else to show you here. JT Williams is not going to go down, and this is a team that doesn't even drop, rounds usually, not at all. Even in a best of 5, usually like to get the broom out and sweep these teams up. But Providence is trying to deny that one.
Yeah, and it really shows, right? I've seen some of these other teams in these other divisions, right? They'll just run the scoreboard up and up and up, and that's kind of one of the cool things about JT Williams. They recognize when they've got the game in the bag, right?
Yeah.
So they'll get up like 3-4 comfortable leads, and then they'll just kind of like exist. You know, they'll let the ball float around. They'll let the other team get their rotations in, get some practice. They're not going to let you score, but you know they'll let you.
That's how I feel about Audrey-Kell as well. Both of those teams, they both know that they're that high caliber team that can beat just about any other these schools. So yeah, if I'm them, you know, you don't have to showboat too much. We've seen that going on a little bit last week, though. We did see some showboating go on, and it turned out to, you know, made them stay a little bit longer in the game. And instead of, you know, getting the brooms out, they did not. So yeah, you gotta you know, stick to your game plan. Don't be switching cars, and especially now. I mean, playoffs is playoffs.
Yeah, it's
playoffs.
You want to make statements, you know, especially if you get to regionals and then you get to states, all where that's made, you know. And I wish that I had kind of the history that I have with Valorant, right, where I know that, you know, JT Williams, they fell in Valorant regionals, you know, last year or last season, whatever it was, and then Audrey-Kell, they went to states and they fell to Green Hope. So it's like that history with that mindset of the past. You've talked about players who've been around for several seasons. That's the stuff that lingers with you, where you're like, man, I got to get to that next level. I got to get that next ring or trophy, whatever.
Absolutely, and Grassy and Nutella definitely want that. We've seen, like I said, both players been in this league multiple seasons, so obviously they want to, you know, get the trophy here beside of us that we have posted. You know, every time we go to, you know, Faces, we get to see this huge trophy for Rocket League. So it's crazy to see what they're competing for. Obviously, money on the line as well, and like you said, I mean, regionals and states also on the line that they need to, you know, get game ready for those. So Nutella puts one in finally. I mean, 3 minutes has gone by, and finally we see a score. In that time, Nutella able to put that one in.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it felt like we spent 3 minutes with the ball right there in that goal. And so, shout out Providence Panthers, right? You're struggling a little bit. You do go down 1-0, but you've held them, right? You held the line. You show that at least defensively you can, you know, battle back a little bit. Now you just got to figure out how to get that offense mounted, get the pressure on your goal. JT Williams, they get that inch, and here they go. They're going to try to take the mile.
That was the one thing I was scared of for Providence. They were handling the game so well. The first 3 minutes gone by, that, you know, eventually JT Williams scored. I was hoping that was going to fire them up to kind of still play their game, but now I think that got JT Williams fired up, and now they're rolling. So Providence, yeah, you know, definitely improved compared to game one. They started out well. Now, you know, eventually just getting a few goals here from JT Williams, but still holding them a little bit tighter than what we thought.
And as a quick reminder, folks, we are live here on this Friday night as a score in for Gecko from the Providence Panthers. First score of the series for them.
Yes.
So beautiful, right? That's what you want. This is what you can start to build momentum from. Fight back, make your name known, put yourself like, hey, I deserve to be.
I told you, man, it was Gecko.
Yeah, we don't need to, you know, we don't want to look at the bracket and see 1 versus 4 and we got lucky. Like, we want to show we deserve to be here. Grass says, do you?
That's the thing.
Yes.
That is the thing. Providence, you know, you can be high-fiving your teammates and all. JT Williams puts their head down, says what's going on in the next play. You see how fast they can just take away that little bit of momentum that Providence had. Hey, Providence got a goal. Yay, yay. JT Williams pulls the rug right out from under them and says, not so fast. You're still down by 2.
Absolutely. Grassy's just been on a whole other level today. It just really feels like he's stepping up when it matters most. You gotta wonder, like, is Grassy emptying the gas tank a little too fast? You know?
I feel that same way.
Knowing that Audrey-Kell or Garinger sit on the horizon.
I feel that same way about Gecko too. Gecko right out of the gate was looking great, and now gets Providence their goal. Does he keep it up? That's the question. That's what you have to do, especially you're trailing possibly 2 games here. And, you know, if JT Williams only has to win 1 more game after this, you know, the pressure is on. So Gecko, like, I haven't seen Banana much. I haven't seen Failed Sins much. Those players usually are the ones that are popping off. for Providence, but right now Gecko's the only one that's really amounting to anything.
Yeah, and I think it's just because when we've seen Providence before, they're against teams that they can't hold this pressure against them.
Absolutely.
And so, like, we've seen Tampa and we've seen Gecko, but, like, they normally shine in making these scores happen. But how can you score when you're in your goal, right? You're not going to go coast to coast and against a team like JT Williams.
Not unless your name's Skimmett, but either way, I mean, it is just tough. Like you said, Providence really hasn't had too many challenges throughout this season. Now they're finally facing their first challenge here in the playoffs. Right now, JT Williams, though, showing them why it's a challenge.
This freaking cord, man, it's getting me today. So they are going to take game 2, and like you said, right, you always want to have that padded stat, right, and especially in any series, but a best of 5. Now you have some room if you're JT Williams. You can get a little comfortable, right? You got a 2-game cushion. You can let off the gas a little bit. And I'm looking at the shot count, 11 shots for JT Williams. And really, honestly, this sounds weird to say, but a surprise, they got 5 shots for Providence considering how long they spent in that goal. Exactly.
I was going to point that out. It's like, I know it's not as many as JT Williams has shot, but Providence still getting 5 shots on the board. You know, that's decent. And also, they didn't have to only save. Like, they actually got some shots out. So that's really, good news for that side. Not so good news. They're down 2-0. Good news for JT Williams, though.
Yep, absolutely. What more can you say than that, right? So we're looking like, if I'm the coach of Providence, I'm saying, hey, don't let it get to your head. You showed you can hold them, right? Now they're scoring on us, so it is an uphill climb. But if you can take what you're doing defensively and you can get that offense going a little bit, we did see that they could score on them. So trying to rally his team, not let them hold their head down. Again, like, this won't be the last time, regardless of this next game's outcome, that we see Providence.
Exactly.
So you can learn from this scenario as you prepare for lands in the future.
Well said on that. I mean, Providence, exactly. Take this as a learning curve. Hey, we're going to see this team in regionals. Let's jump on it now. Let's try to figure them out this next game. Yep. Obviously, not saying it's over, but I am saying there's a chance it could be over very soon if JT Williams keeps this up. And Providence, what they got to do exactly what they did in the first 3 minutes of that last game. Just hold them, low-scoring game. I think they can win it if they can just slow JT Williams down, which we saw that in the first 3 minutes. It just couldn't hold for the full 5.
Yep, we can't promise that Providence is going to be winners, but we will all be winners because we're going to jump into Game 3 of this best-of-5 series right now. I'm hearing that the observers are ready. Knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on their sweaters already. Mom's spaghetti.
I swear I've heard that before. I don't know where.
Oh, it just
can't put my finger on it.
Came to me in a dream. As we get into this Game 3 of this best-of-5, that's kind of like one of the perks of being in the big league. Grassy said, hey, 11 seconds in, I'm taking the goal. We're going to try to keep up with this if we can. Our fastest goal of today was over in the Sandhills division, I think it was. They scored in 6 seconds.
Okay. So not as fast as what we saw last week.
Yeah,
last week for CMS, we saw a 1-second goal.
Yeah. Well,
and then like a 3-second earlier, too. And look at that save.
Had it right there.
Great save right there by Providence. There you go. They're showing that they are not letting down, but Nutella is ready for...
I think it's the first time we've seen Nutella's name.
Yeah, Nutella's just ready for anything coming his way. And you saw 2 goalies just got pulled there, wide open shot, and that comes down to your communication for Providence. Hey, who's going to leave goal? Who's going after it? One person needs to sit back.
Absolutely. 2-0 already. You're not feeling good if you're Providence Panthers, especially after the way the rest of this series has been going. 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, this is just getting, we talked about the first 3 minutes of that last game looking completely different, as it looked like Failed Sins had his opportunity, and they still have that opportunity. The ball's just kind of sitting around JT Williams' goal for once. We haven't seen that all series, and now they're keeping the pressure on. I love seeing this. They're kind of putting it to them, but JT Williams still doing a good enough job to where no shots on goal whatsoever. Failed Sins only had his opportunity, obviously missed that a little bit, but still those opportunities you cannot miss against a great team like JT Williams.
Absolutely. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock right now.
These angles are just unreal.
It's got
unreal.
His name. His name's so strange to the UI. I wonder if it's the numbers, 4425 numbers.
Could be, but either way, it gets the job done for JT Williams. Up 3-0 here in this game 3. They're already up 2-0 in the series, so all they got to do is just finish this game, and they are in the finals here, Michael.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a place you want to be if you're JT Williams. Anything less is honestly probably a disappointment, right? If I think about schools that have that status as far as championships goes, you want to be able to make your statement here in Rocket League and Valor and anything that you can, right? And Rocket League is kind of like this is the esport for varsity esports and STEM League. It's a super great game, super fun to watch, easy to understand and get into, but such a high skill ceiling, man.
It really is. I mean, going from a diamond, to champ, from champ to grand champ, all the ranks. I mean, from even gold to diamond or gold to plat is such a big change. So playing with somebody with a little bit lower skill level, you have to learn. And since this is the school league, you're seeing all types of ranks around. Obviously, you don't see what type of rank they are. Once they're here on the the high school pitch, it's open. Everyone's playing with everybody. So all the skill ranks are all kind of mixed together. But you can kind of see those top ranked players, and we call those the superstars. But either way, going at it, and JT Williams still hasn't scored since that first 3 that they had, but they are trying to answer when I want to talk a little bit of smack to them, as Providence still holding on, though, doing well on not letting JT just keep running away with these games. They're now on the attack, and there you go. Finally something going their way here in this game 3. Failed Sins is going to be able to drop it in, but watch this. The real MVP is Gecko getting it over the car with the assist, and Failed Sins putting it in for the finisher. As, hey, they're down by 2. It's not over. Backs against the wall. They have to perform. Why not now?
I could not agree more with everything you're saying. Just such an impressive showing from JT Williams, and it's not like it's hard to be critical of Providence Panthers because they're doing all the right stuff. They're making the right moves. There are, like, sure, if we really get critical about it, we could nitpick some of the communication that we've seen, right? Two people commit to the ball out of goal, but you just have so much pressure on you. How do you keep up with that, right?
It's tough to do, but I mean, they haven't done a bad job. They're still hanging in these games. It's not like, complete blowouts. I mean, I will say game 1 was a little rough, not scoring. And now Nutella says, hey, this game's not over. We're going to still try to make this a blowout as they get their 4th goal here on the board. But watch, you said you haven't seen enough Nutella. There you go, as he smacks that one in for JT Williams' 4th goal.
Absolutely. 4-1. I just want to see Providence Panthers come in and get a few scores, right? Go through the motion. See what happens here. 1 minute remaining. And I don't like to count anyone out, but you got to think that right there. That's the dagger in the heart from Nutella, and he's got a smile on his face when he's doing it. Final straw, dagger in the heart, nail in the coffin. Whatever you want to say, it's kind of said after that goal from Nutella. Now performing well. Obviously, Grassy and Am as well doing, they're all playing well, and that's what happens when you have a team that's all putting in the work, all putting in the effort. The communication is there, and you just see it. Just look at Grassy. The mechanics has come such a long way, juking out all these players. Can he juke out a 3rd? He just missed it, but guess what? He's got a teammate behind him, and that's Nutella. That was just so beautiful. Like, look at, it's just like he's frolicking in the park right now. Just barely hopping, nothing fancy. I love it. He's slowly dribbling the ball. Balloons, too. Coast to coast, and able to juke out just about every car that came in front of him. And, well, good news for Providence. They did get one back, but still, hats off to Nutella and Grassy for doing what he just did. But right now, it's tough. It's tough to take this one. Obviously, Providence will
probably get their revenge here in the regionals. Like you said, they're still in it. They are going to the regionals, able to compete against this JT Williams, the squad, possibly. Could be Garinger, could be Audrey Kell, who knows? But either way, Grassy adding on to this deficit.
Grassy, just put the controller down, man.
Yeah, stop.
It's over.
Come on, man.
No, I mean, that's just a
Go get some dinner.
Shot. Yeah. Like, come to the concert later, right? We got Post Malone. You know, that's just something we can talk about, right? Is VESL. We are, if you're around the Charlotte area, right, you have the Love and Life Music Festival going on. Come by, check out I think it's called the Mothership is the truck there, so come check out the Mothership.
Haven't seen it yet. I've heard, I mean, I have seen it, but it's not in person yet. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool. Minus the weather. The weather's pretty hot.
Yeah, hopefully that rain holds off a little bit longer. But
wear your sunscreen, folks. That's my recommendation.
Well, I'll be working there Saturday, Sunday. If you do get to make it out there, come say hi.
Yeah, there
don't be a stranger. Come up to me.
Yep, come hang out with discounts. I'll be there maybe tonight. I don't know yet. It depends on how long the night goes.
Yeah, we'll see.
So I mean, just beautiful gameplay there. Checking out those stats a little bit. That's a lot of shots, man. That's 21 shots on the side of JT Williams, and then only 3 on the side of Providence Panthers. And you know what, though? 3 shots, 2 goals. Percentage-wise, Providence wins. So it's all about the small victories, folks. And then saves, I mean, it's just 8 saves on the side of Providence Panthers. And JT Williams just really honed it in there. And I'm actually more impressed. There's 11 shots for Grassy, and he's middle of the team. Nutella, just getting those goal points, man. He's up to 733. So hats off to JT Williams, and congratulations on making your way to the grand finals.
Absolutely. And, yeah, Grassy, he just did it, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He just
11 shots.
Just dug in there. So let's take a look real fast, right? We might as well just take a glance at the bracket, just to remind folks of kind of the history of today. And then what we've got coming up here. So JT Williams, we just saw, took that 3-0 with Providence Panthers. And in that quarterfinals, right, they took down Palisades so hard they even added an extra letter to their name, the Judd Williams. And then you see, Providence, good run for them. They did take down Myers Park. Not an easy team to beat by any means. So hats off to Providence Panthers. You did make it to land, as I understand it. We will see you again in regionals. So you can come here. You can learn from JT Williams' loss. Coming up next, we're going to have Garinger Wildcats versus the Audrey Kell Knights. What do you think about that matchup?
I'm excited to see it. Garinger has stepped up in the last season. Like I said, them just beating Olympic to get here is already a win in my book for Garinger as a school, as a organization. Now the real test is here. You saw me glow up when I just saw when I'm thinking about Audrey Kell against Garinger, because Garinger now they have a tough matchup. Mm-hmm. Will they fold under pressure, or will they succeed and just, hey, we're here too, Audrey Kell and JT Williams, right? Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm excited to see it. Obviously, Audrey Kell, they know how to handle business. They've done it in the last 3 seasons, so we'll see if that changes anything. But either way, Garinger is definitely not an opponent to be switching cars up that we've seen in the past.
Nah, not at all. And we are going to find out how that plays out here soon. We're going to tease you for a little bit because we're going to take a quick break. We're going to relax our vocals just in case it's intense. The players, they're getting set up over there, going to be jumping into the action. So don't go anywhere. Stick around. We'll be right back. Garinger Wildcats versus Audrey Kell Knights. Welcome back, everyone, to another Friday. We just saw Game 1. We had JT Williams take down Providence 3-0, but now we set the stage before the break. We got to set the stage again, right? Now we're starting. We already had the the appetizer. Now we're getting ready for the main course here.
Baby.
Garinger Wildcats, Audrey Kell Knights. You're a big fan of Audrey Kell.
I mean, I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of the school because I went to a different school.
Yeah.
And so, our baseball teams didn't like each other too much. But as a Rocket League fan, yes, I like to see what Audrey Kell can do. They amaze me every time I get to watch them. Same thing with JT Williams, but Audrey Kell just a little bit even more. They put a little bit more, I don't know what to say, pizzazz onto to their shots, a little flavor.
Yeah.
Definitely had the little seasoning going on. So I'm excited to see what Audrey Kell has in store for us today. But the most thing I like to see underdogs win. So I want to see Garinger do something here, or at least put up some fight. Let's possibly go into the final game 5 or something. Mm-hmm. Something exciting for us here this Friday night.
Yeah, nobody likes to watch complete and total domination. But, there are places for that. So when you're thinking about the scoreline, I think Audrey Kell has blanking on his name, but I'm going to get close enough to it. Your favorite player, you're always talking about Chippy. Right? Is it Chippy? Chip it?
Skim it.
Skim it. There we go. I want Chippy. That's another good name.
That's another gamer tag for anyone who wants
Someone
to try
that.
Yeah.
So you're always there. Do you think that they're going to take this series?
I can't say because I don't want to cast or curse them.
That's what I wanted you to do.
Yeah. No. I've done this too long to put these teams, because I'm sure I'm going to get DMs from some of these students. I knew it. You shouldn't have backed us up. So, my lips are sealed on that one.
Well, I tried to help you out.
He tried.
So sorry for that. I do think that we are ready. I think our observers are ready for Game 1. So as soon as we are ready and we can get loaded into that, we're going to jump right into this action. Garinger Wildcats, Audrey Kell Knights. What just a good way to end our cast here on Friday. The finals still yet to come. That'll happen over on the showcase stream here on the Varsity Esports and STEM League YouTube channel. Well, so that'll come up sometime after this. So we're just kind of setting the stage for y'all. You're going to get dessert. Right?
Absolutely. And we see Chippy on our screen. Skim it.
That reminds me, we got to do some player intros, so I'll do the Garinger Wildcats.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
And then I'll make you introduce your rivals.
All right.
Baseball. So Garinger Wildcats, we got Akko. Akko's always been great. We got Jeff, 21. And then we got Ian Warrior on the side of the Garinger Wildcats. Welcome to the stage. And go ahead, Chris, take it away with Audrey Kell.
Well, Audrey Kell roster we have is we almost had Skimmett drop one in. We'll obviously I'll announce the star player. We got Skimmett alongside. We got Barris, another top player we've seen on this squad before, and also Sandery here tonight. So I'm excited to see what they have in store for us. They've been dominating this whole season. We've just been watching them, the last 3 weeks with domination, and they will try to continue doing that tonight. But hey, no score here in the first minute. No. So hats off already to Garinger for doing. Caster Chris, I apologize to Garinger and their squad right after that.
Well, Garinger, if he was ever showing favoritism, he showed it right there, because he wouldn't cast a curse Audrey Kell, but he did it to you the first chance he got.
Oh, man.
So if you're going to slide in anyone's DMs and yell at him, just remember he's Discounts TV on Discord.
On Twitter, too.
Yeah, you have my permission. Go tweet at this guy. Yell
well, maybe, like I said, if they're there tomorrow during the Music Fest, they can tell me in person. So either way, I'm here for the bring it on, guys. Bring it on.
Yep, and if you're just tuning in, folks, what he's talking about is we got that Love and Life Music Festival here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Woo!
That'll be going on all weekend. Barris just setting himself up for greatness there. Well, this is by Skimmett, but I got to be honest with you. I think at some point Barris just took this into his own hands.
Yeah, Barris. Wow, that, like you said, Skimmett gets the assist, but that was all Barris, man. Barris took it from coast to coast and just knew what angle to hit the ball. He's a veteran. He's been here, done that, and it just shows right there. But another veteran, but on the Garinger side, Akko, Ian Warrior. I've seen them both in the past 2 seasons, so I know they, they're the veterans on that Garinger squad.
You love to see it. Veterans able to make some good plays here. hopefully not crack under the pressure that is Audrey Kell. But sometimes you're not cracking. Sometimes Audrey Kell's just that good.
Yeah.
Skim it. We talk about him enough. Doesn't hurt to talk about him a little bit more. Always seems to make some magic happen. And you got to think you're just dreaming of that JT Williams Audrey Kell final. And if they keep this up 2-0 early on, 2 minutes 45 seconds left in this game one, keep this pace, keep this score, you got to think that there's a reality where you're going to see that.
It's really cool to see this too, because Gacko, Ian Warrior, they played against Skimmett before. Barris has even played against Skimmett, before he joined the Audrey Kell team. So, like, it's really cool to see these matchups. You know, it's kind of like watching back in, my day, it's like Kobe versus LeBron, right? And so we see Skimmett, I don't know if he's Kobe or LeBron, either one, just showing what he's got going on, and he's just dominating, man, and just time in and time out every single week. That's what Skimmett does.
Couldn't say it by myself.
Yeah, that's it.
One thing I will say is, both Audrey Kell and JT Williams look so dominant. I was really looking forward to this matchup on Wednesday, right? And if you're rival schools, you're probably keeping track of this, right? There's a little bit of cross-pollination between these esports. Audrey Kell got it done Wednesday in Valorant. They are your champions for the CMS division there, right? They're going to be your #1 seed going into regionals. You got to think that they're going to make it to states as well.
So Audrey Kell beat JT?
JT didn't even make the finals.
Oh, man.
They went out in semifinals in an upset. I believe it was to the Panthers, Providence Panthers.
Okay.
It could be the Pumas. I keep getting the Cats confused, so sorry for that.
One of the Cat schools.
Yep. And Audrey Kell, when they dominated that finals and made a statement. So they've got one chip on their shoulder, right?
Yep.
In this rivalry, expecting to say, hey, you couldn't even make it Wednesday. Can you make it here? And I've heard, right, as I understand it, that Rocket League is the game that matters just that much more than Valorant, right? It is the game that seems to be the most popular, have the most players, and the most competition in it.
The biggest thing for me, like watching this game, obviously I like the underdogs, right? I would like to see Garinger, upset Audrey Kell, or if not just upset, or at least make it something close, right? But how great is it going to be to see Audrey Kell go up against JT Williams if they win the series? Because like we said in the past, they're rivals, as in we've seen them time in and time out where they play each other very well, and we've seen JT Williams before has upset Audrey Kell. So this is just such a good, different rosters though, so that's another little kink in the whole thing. But yeah, I'm excited to see if Audrey Kell and JT can go at it.
Yeah.
But I would like to see Garinger win though too. So either way, I think we're gonna have a great finals.
Yeah, I agree. And I did just get confirmation that JT lost to Providence Panthers.
Okay.
In the finals. So actually, a little bit of a sweet vengeance in the game we just casted, right? Because JT just beat Providence Panthers here in Rocket League.
Yeah.
So, if you're at school, right, go hang out with your Valorant players, right? Give them a high five. Say, hey, we got your back, right? We got you some revenge.
Yeah.
Audrey Kell does take that game one, though, while I was talking about a little bit of history.
Yeah, looking at the stats here, the shots aren't terrible. You had 5 from Garinger, 5 alone from Barris on Audrey Kell, but also the added 2 that Skimmett and Sandery had would be 7. So still not that far off on that. Garinger still hanging in there. Obviously, they did get 3-0'd, but that's still going back to the stats. It's not that far off.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you were really out of the game. Honestly, I like to look at the players that didn't perform, right? Because that they could do better, like Ian Warrior. We know that he can be more involved in the game. Only 126 points. That's calculated in a variety of ways. He's only got one shot. So if Ian Warrior can get a little bit more comfortable, then maybe you bring that down to a 1-0 game, right? Mm-hmm. And then your other player comes online, Jeff. Well, now you're really competitive,
exactly.
Right? You don't just have all your pressure on one guy. And that's what you need. Everyone has to be working in great cohesion, because Audrey Kell, JT Williams, it's the same story every game. I know I sound like a broken record, but they're so good. They've put in so many hours together. They know subconsciously where everyone is.
Yeah, and that's why it makes it so hard. That's why we keep preaching about their their work ethic and their skill level, obviously, you know, like you said, it's a record, just nonstop saying it. But it's hard not to whenever those teams are the ones that are performing and doing their homework and watching the film and getting better each and every day. I know I know we haven't heard any comms or anything through the stream, but I can tell you that they're talking more than any other schools. You know, this is just the type of school that they are. The great chemistry, everything. So.
Yep, and it's the exact same scenario, but also inverse, right? It's really obvious. You can tell when a team's not on the same page.
Yeah.
Right? When 3 people commit to defend that one ball and you leave your goal totally exposed, that just meant that someone there, like there was a lack of trust or a breakdown of communication, right? Like everyone feeling so much pressure, they're like, oh, your heart's racing, we got to save this ball. You know, you make those small mistakes, and those little mistakes add up over time, and that's why Audrey Kill and JT Williams can stand out so much, because I'm sure they make mistakes. I don't have the eye to spot them, but I'm sure there are some mistakes there that they will notice or their coaches will notice.
Yes.
But they're not making nearly as many as the other teams. Right.
Their mistakes are a little different than the other teams, right? The other teams, they're worried about the double commits. They're worried about, oh, man, I'm sorry, I just didn't get that pass right in front of you perfectly. You know, it's a whole nother level what the difference between their mistakes are compared to the other team's mistakes. So if you can just be fundamental, if you're playing against one of these teams, Audrey Kell, JT Williams, that is your best bet. You got to play a little bit faster, obviously. They're fast. But you stick to the fundamentals. Let's get our communication down, and that's your best chance of winning against some of these powerhouse teams.
Yep. So, Garinger Wildcats, I hope you were listening. I hope you took your notes, because we're in game 2, and we're about to find out if you listen to them. we can't talk to them. We would spoil everything. I'd be in their ear. I'd tell them exactly where Skimmett is at all times.
I don't know if that would still help them. I don't know. Barris and Skimmett on the same team ever since I've seen this happen. I mean, now we got Sandery. He says, stop talking about them and start talking about me, but almost made that look a little bit too easy. But Garinger able to not let that go in, and now they're on the offensive side and gets it over Skimmett. That's not something you see normally happen. Skimmett trying to do his best and playing and keep the foot on the gas, but Sandery doing his thing. That's perfect. Perfect pass to Barris, Sandery. I mean, just this is the communication we were talking about. Watch this. Perfect.
Yeah, that's what you need right there. So, everyone, if you're looking, Garinger Wildcats, hey, how can we beat Audrey Kell? Do what they do. That easy.
Yeah, easier said than done.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. We haven't played against them.
Yeah, believe me, if I played against them,
I'd be too nervous.
It'd be a comedy act. The moment they put the ball in the air, I would be doomed. I wouldn't know how to get to it.
Panicking.
I'd be like,
Straight panic.
Get back down here.
They're over there air dribbling, you know, doing musty flick, double tap, aerials, you know, just all this other stuff, and you're just like, how do I turn?
You know what though? Okay, I'm gonna set a unique challenge for myself. You know, if I ever end up in this scenario, right? You take Audrey Kell, okay, and you put me with 2 players from JT Williams, okay, and I've got one goal, okay, on that squad is I'm gonna find Skimmett, and I'm gonna engage in a Rule 1. I've taken Skimmett out of the game. I've done my part.
Yeah, well, then it comes down to 2v2. Then you got Sandery.
And anything else I've done is a letdown.
Sandery and Barris versus, I guess, the other 2 JT Williams, maybe Grassi, and, you know, another teammate there. Yeah, that would be tough. I mean, I like that matchup, but I don't know.
I'm just trying to figure out
I thought you were gonna say demo everybody. Every time I saw Skimmett, I just demo.
No. He's in the air all the time. I got to keep him locked down.
He might just fly over you.
Yeah, if I demo him, he's just going to reset somewhere else. So
True.
I probably need to demo him one time, and then I need to figure out how spawns work in this game so I can go find him instantly in Rule 1.
What I would do is try to bump instead of demoing, so it doesn't reset. You just keep bumping them. That way, you just bump them down the field and just kind of be aggravating. But we have a possible goal here, not going to, as Garinger really was hoping to get on the board there. 3 minutes remaining. They still have an opportunity there, but Audrey Kell's defense, they are here. They are the Knights for a reason. They're guarding their castle as we speak right now, and still opportunities here for Garinger to get on the board. The ball is floating over their goal, but great play by Skimmett getting that clear.
Yeah, and just the pressure's right back on the other side. Skimmett saying, hey, take this ball back.
Yeah, just
Right?
fundamentals. I mean, that's somebody who can just do everything and know exactly where the ball's going to be dropping. It's just unbelievable on what some of these students can do with a controller. I mean, just, jeez.
I thought Jeff almost had that nice little air dribble there. I just want to see Garinger get on the board. Hacko getting thrown around by Barris. Couldn't quite get his wheels back on the ground, and that's got to be frustrating.
And that's what I was talking about. What we got to do against Skimmett if we ever play them. Just get the bumps. Just bump them out of the way. Be just very aggravated. But Ian Warrior trying to make something happen. I love that, but it got contested. And Audrey Kell's just not letting anything slide. Garinger did a good job of keeping that ball on their side for so long, but now it's going the other way.
Yeah, it feels like a very like a deja vu situation, right? We just had the same thing with JT Williams and Providence of like
game 2.
You're not playing bad, right? If you're Garinger Wildcats, you're not playing bad if you're Providence. You can't quite get that cohesion you're used to, get that offense mounted going forward because Audrey Kell's just controlling all these elements so well. And I feel like I've
so many
seen
demos.
Things blow up left and right here.
Yeah, it looks like
Good
a demolition
save.
derby right now as we see. Look at all of these demos.
Down.
I mean, just unreal. I mean, we saw last game, Garinger had a ton of demos. Audrey Kell had none. So maybe maybe that's just a part of their game plan.
I think Garinger's been getting demoed.
Yeah.
Like Ian just got demoed earlier by.
Well, I saw him just retaliate, so maybe that's what happened.
30 seconds left. Garinger's still in it, right? We've seen like 3 goals in 15 seconds, so anything.
Well, like you said, deja vu, as in that last series we just watched. Game 2 was the closest one, and it's looking exactly like that, where Garinger's hanging in, not really letting Audrey Kell do too much on the offensive side. Garinger just cannot get their opportunities to go. Audrey Kell's defense is just on one right now. It's really good.
A little bit of an audio issue there. I think it's just the video, though, the video feed coming in. So
all good,
not
though.
a big deal. Audrey Kell, right? The game just trying to process what just happened.
So are we.
Yeah, they take that 2-0, and I mean, really, like a high-action game to say it's 1-0. Audrey Kell with 7 shots to their name. Garinger Wildcats with 6.
Exactly.
I mean, so they did get that offense going. 4 saves apiece for these teams. And demos, you talked about it. Garinger getting in there, throwing elbows. 3 demos to 5.
That was their chance, in my opinion. Garinger being that close to Audrey Kell, beating them, at least getting the momentum kind of shifting toward them. They just couldn't get it done here in game 2. Audrey Kell getting it done. Now all they got to do is win one more game, Michael. So this is going to be kind of what Audrey Kell's used to, being up 2-0 in a series, and hey, let's just have fun here on the third one. Just keep doing what we've been doing. Garinger probably not feeling the best after that loss. They know they hung in there. They know, you saw the stats, they was very neck and neck, so they're let down, but hopefully they can rebound.
I agree, and I know I'm just grasping at straws here, right? But when you're Audrey Kell, you got to look at things to be critical about. Skimmett on that leaderboard.
Mm-hmm.
That's you said it. That's the star player. Why are you last on the team? Why do you have the fewest points? I know it's a 3-man game, and I'm just looking for anything to criticize them on, right? But when you get a point of contact, sometimes you just got to go for it because there's no other story to be told. You're so dominant. Skimmett, that's only a 1-0 game. Do you really look that impressive as Audrey Kell being 1-0 against only 1-0 against Garinger Wildcats?
I like that take. I haven't heard that take ever. Skimmett usually is always all the commentators are all love for Skimmett. All love for Skimmett. I like this other take though. This might get him fired up, and he might put up 4 to 5 goals here in this game 3. I've seen it before. But that's the thing. Usually Skimmett doesn't have 2 bad games in a row.
Yeah.
So even though, they won, he didn't have the best score or whatever, but I don't think he's going to have 2 bad games, though, Michael. I've seen this guy play for the last 3 seasons, and I've seen him play bad a few times, but never back-to-back.
Yeah, and I don't think he played bad by any means. The point that I'm trying to drive home is, like, when you're looking at JT Williams, you're looking at Audrey Kell. When you're casting, you're being analytical of their teams. you got to look at those points and, like, you never know who's watching, right? So maybe NRG tuned in for that game. Skim it, you're a star. Now you don't even look like a star, right? So you always got to be on. You got to treat every day like it's game day, always regional, always state champs. That's the mindset you have, and you take it to the next level. And we're going to find out, right, because we got game 3 ready to go. Is Skimmett going to step up and shine like the star that he is? And, again, not that he's playing bad, but my same take, I did the same take actually on Wednesday while the Observer gets us loaded into that game 3. Audrey Kell is in the chat.
Uh-oh.
When they were fired.
Uh-oh. You might have ticked off some of these students here today. So we'll find out in the chat.
You know, when we get to Greensboro, I think that's regional. When we get to Greensboro, I'm sure someone's going to come up and talk to me.
Hey, remember that take you had on the semifinals game? Yeah. About game 3. Be so specific about it. Yeah. Here, I actually clipped it for you.
Who's laughing now,
Please explain why you were talking smack about one of our best players. If that happens, please send me that video, guys. I want to see the reaction. But either way, here we go. Best of 5. This is game 3. Audrey Kell just needs to get one more win here. Garinger fighting for their life. Trying to just get one, at least to say, hey, we beat this Audrey Kell team.
Yeah, and you had every opportunity last game, right? So as much as I'm, I don't want to say like poking fun at, right? But I'm looking for ways, because you're never going to get many opportunities to be critical of J2 Williams or Audrey Kell. Like, it's kind of just like, it doesn't need to be spoken, right? It's an unspoken thing with Garinger Wildcats. Like, if you had an opportunity to get and capitalize on a moment, it was Skimmett having an off game, right? As you see, Sanderi comes in, answers 1-0. Right, 1-0 again, game 2's final score. Skimmett not a part of this, no assist, no score. So if their star players, whether he's just taking it easy, right, saving his energy for later, right, against what looks like that J2 Williams matchup, or if he's just having an off day, that's exactly when a team like Garinger Wildcats has to step up and strike. Yeah,
but usually when Skimmett has an off day or Barris is having an off day, they pick each other up. That's the good thing about this type of team. So it's like, yeah, they might, one person might not have the best day, or game or series, but either way, this team is so good just with their big 3. I don't think it matters. Exactly. But now if 2 starts playing bad, yes, then it's a big momentum shift for the other team. But right now, Audrey Kell, it's very rare seeing 2 of their players having a bad day.
Yeah, and that's what's really interesting about Rocket League to me is, like, sure, you have the guy, Sanders, gets another goal. Like, you have the guy like Skimmett, right? The expectation that I've come from Skimmett is, like, that's your star shooter, right? That's your Kobe, that's your Jordan. They want to be there for that game-winning shot, right, situation. But if you have a day off, like, Skimmett's not going to forget how to play Rocket League. He's going to be the greatest goalie you've ever seen.
Right.
So, like,
I feel like we give a lot of praise to Skimmett, which it should. Hats off, one of the top players in this league. Barris too, though. Barris has won MVP. I'm pretty sure last season he won MVP. I don't know. It's one of the seasons he did win. I just know he was that star of Audrey Kell. So Skimmett now just becoming an Audrey Kell night this season, this year. It just throws so much talent at the Audrey Kell team, and now you just got 2 stars. You got the Kobe and LeBron playing together.
Yeah.
So it's wild. It's wild.
Yeah, and that's kind of the beauty, right, of me, of like being uneducated on all that history that you have and all that story. Is I'm just taking it at face value, right? You tell me Skimmett's the star, I want to see this guy shine every time. But Barris, that's good to know that he has that history being that MVP. And we've seen that, like, across all kinds of esports, right? Like, back to, I'm a big League of Legends guy, so watching G2 with Perks and Reckless and all these teams, Jensen, right? You see all these players coming through these teams that are the stars, and sometimes you get really good teams when you get 2 or 3 legends, right, on there at the same time. So kind of a situation here for Audrey Kell. 2-0 Garinger Wildcats. I mean, I just feel like I'm talking so much about Audrey Kell, but it's just because this just isn't the day for the Wildcats.
Right. Well, Sandiri is the one that's popping off this game. So that just shows you, as we see Skimmett almost having that double tap right there. That would have been great.
I think he's listening to me.
Yeah, he probably is.
Now he's firing up.
Yeah, he's getting fired up. You know, anytime he doesn't usually hear anyone going against him, so he's like, hang on, I gotta correct you. But yeah, it's just this whole Audrey Kell team, Sandiri. I mean, imagine having those two players as your teammates. I'm sure he's learning so much.
Oh yeah, because you got to think. I mean, I would assume Skimmett's like, younger, right? Maybe like a freshman, sophomore, right? And if Barris has been around for a while, maybe that's junior, senior level. So Barris might be like, maybe this is Barris' last season. I have no idea. I have no context.
I feel like Barris and Skimmett either are seniors this year or juniors, one or the other. Or vice versa. One of them might be one or the other. But I've seen Skimmett in the last 3 seasons, and I've seen Barris in the last 3 seasons. So they've been around.
Yeah.
Sandiri, new name, so it could be one of the same players, maybe just gamertag switch. We don't get told whenever there are gamertag switches and stuff. That's kind of tough to track, obviously.
Yep.
You know, kids just changing their gamertag every season. It's tough to, remember and get that history around it. You know, you want to grow that brand.
Yeah,
your
brand.
gamertag name is your brand, and you kind of want to find something that kind of fits. And Barris, it always has been fitting his last 3 seasons, and he fits that one straight into the goal.
Yeah, and really feels like Audrey Kell, and as far as high school esports goes, they're kind of like I would call them like, I don't know, the EG, right? Of not EG, that's not the one I'm thinking of. It's always harder when you're live. The story I'm running with is like when you have like Optic Gaming, right? And you have the Dallas Empire, right? And Call of Duty, right? Dallas known for we're for championships, right? And I feel like, to speak to the importance of the brand, Audrey Kell's brand is kind of like, hey, we're champions, right? We don't take second place. We don't take anything less than that.
Yep.
And they're making a statement, right, against Garinger Wildcats. Now, sure, they didn't have like as big blowout scores as you got, with some of the JT Williams games, but at the end of the day, they got it done. The execution was perfect.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't have any. They had like Garinger didn't get any points, did they? This whole
I think Garinger. I think they got shut out.
Yeah, I don't remember them scoring, but maybe I'm just forgetting. And I mean, what can you do? You got 11 shots coming from Audrey Kell. You got 8 saves. You're always in your goal.
It's tough. I mean, Garinger played well, though, like you said. They played well, but Audrey Kell their defense was so good.
Yep.
Garinger's offense was playing well. They're getting the shots. They were kind of matching them back and forth. It's just Audrey Kell could get the ball in the goal. That's the only difference. Garinger played really well. I'm like we said in the past, Garinger still, we're going to see them later on. We get in the regionals later on. So I'm excited to see them go up against someone like JT Williams or someone like Providence, who's in this top 4, and kind of to see where they match up against them.
Yep, absolutely. And we do have the updated brackets. We're going to talk through that bracket for you. That is the last game that we will be live streaming today. But let's talk through this history, right? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that grand final. So I'm going to walk you through the story again, folks. Just bear with me, right? Quarterfinals. Your 4 winners: JT Williams 3-0, Providence 3-0, Garinger 3-1, Audrey Kell 3-1. All 4 of those teams really saying like, hey, we belong in the semifinals. They match up. JT Williams and Audrey Kell both with statement wins, 3-0 against their counterparts, and then they're colliding in the grand finals later today, right? Not on this live stream, CMS live stream. So things are a little different here for the Rocket League playoffs. So if you want to watch this JT Williams Audrey Kell final,
who doesn't?
Who doesn't, right? I'll be tuning in. What you want to do is we have right here, you're on the CMS live stream on YouTube. So all you got to do is you want to scroll down, you want to click the VESL name, right? And you want to go to the showcase stream. In the showcase Rocket League stream, that is where all the grand finals for all these different divisions are. You're going to see stuff like Wake, Foothills, CMS. I would imagine that if I was running that show, that CMS is going to be the grand finale. Audrey Kell, JT Williams, they're sitting there, right? This is a big matchup.
This is huge, man.
Right?
This
so
really is.
It's the school rivalry, so definitely make sure you go check that out. There's also all the other divisions live streaming right now, right, to build up to that grand finals. So you'll see all their streams there too. Go check out Wake. Go check out Foothills. Go check out Guilford, right? We've got Chamaco. You've seen him on this stream before.
Yep.
He's over there casting
We hear
some
him.
games himself. So go check out, go spread some love. You also got all the VODs, everything. You'll have the history of Valorant. You'll have the history of Smash Brothers. You'll have the history of Rocket League. You'll get to see us 4 weeks worth in those, so go check them out. Go scout out your opponents because next week in Greensboro, we got regionals,
Yep.
right? I'm pretty sure I'll be there. I don't know. Are you going to be there?
I don't know if I'll be there. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find
I got
out.
a lot of things to figure out.
We're also going to find out. I think I'm there. I don't know for sure, but maybe I'll be there live. So Audrey Kale and Skim, and I'm going to be critical of you there too, right? Don't think just
They're gonna come up to you, man. I'm telling you.
Don't think just because we're in person that I'm not going to call out the flaws. But
Yeah.
it's been a great 4 weeks. And Discounts, thank you so much for being on this journey with us.
Absolutely.
And putting up with me, right? First time casting this league. So that's going to be it from us tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Go check out the other live streams. We've loved having you around. Thank you so much for 4 weeks of great action. We'll see you next week in Greensboro for regionals. See you soon. Peace.